Howdy. Today, we will be taking a look at FansToys
Gehry! Or Gil. Glenn? Is it? I don't know. It's something with a G!
And, you know, the more I look at him, the more I think he kinda looks like Scrapper from Transformers Generation 1. But that's probably just a coincidence. Or is it? Because this is the second review in my King of Third Party Generation 1 Masterpiece Edition competition. This figure comes with one combiner add-on, one handheld blaster, and one, we'll call it a 3-piston bugle. Sure. In his robot mode, I actually gotta say, I owe FansToys an apology. When I first saw this figure, I really thought it was going to have no articulation. Obviously not literally, but I mean, looking at it just in a static pose, looks like the knees don't really bend that much, the arms, I mean, they're fine, and the body is just one massive block. But no, this figure really is more articulated than I thought. Just look at how articulated that foot is alone. That foot has way more articulation than I thought it would. And the waist, it doesn't rotate, and that's not great, but it does have an ab crunch, and that's really surprising based on this design. And yeah, if you put some effort into it, you can actually get some pretty dynamic poses out of this. Otherwise, same as always, it's got paint top to bottom except on the hands, metallic paint, looks great, but that backpack, man, that backpack is killer. I mean, just look at it. Doesn't really look like anything. It looks like they just shoved a massive wedge on the back of this guy's shoulders and gave him the largest rear fanny pack ever. Like, yikes. Otherwise, this figure actually looks pretty good. And I must admit, the cover down on the knees is pretty ingenious. We've hardly seen any figures do it quite like this, and I must say, it's done quite well. Here's how FansToys Gehry scales with Deluxe Class Deep Cover, Voyager Class Sweep, and Leader Class Grimlock. Here's how FansToys Gehry scales with X-Transbots Klaatu, Takaratomi Masterpiece Prowl, and Robot Paradise Acoustic Wave. Here's how FansToys Gehry scales with X-Transbots Big Load and FansToys Jester. In his vehicle mode, Gehry is, well, let's just say this. It looks like somebody was walking along with Gehry in vehicle mode and dropped it. No, I'm gonna have to put this thing back together, but I don't remember what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, in vehicle mode, it's not good. I mean, from the front, the scoop design is actually pretty cool. It's really interesting how you can change the number of prongs or whatever they're called on the front, but I mean, in the middle, where the arms are supposed to connect to the body, it just looks like a mass of plastic. And then in the back, I mean, you get this cool, like, vent detail, and that's neat, but like the rest of the vehicle is either super smooth and really boring, or this kind of incomprehensible mass of just green plastic with bits of purple peeking out. It's really kind of disappointing because it seems like FansToys sacrificed all of the engineering to get their amazing looking foot, and because of that, the vehicle mode really doesn't look good at all. It's a shame, especially when you consider what is supposedly being made by X-Transbots and Mastermind Creations, and you wonder, isn't there anything that FansToys could have done to make this look any better? I mean, the robot mode is already kind of passable only because of how articulated it is, but the robot mode is already really blocky, so you couldn't make the vehicle mode make up for that at all. Yeah, so I don't recommend this, not if you're gonna get it for vehicle mode. Here's how FansToys Gehry scales with Deluxe Class Deep Cover, Voyager Class Artfire, and Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime. Here's how FansToys Gehry scales with FansToys Variator, Takaratomi Masterpiece Blue Streak, Magic Square Heavy Gunner, and X-Transpot's Big Load. Here's how FansToys Gehry in Combiner Leg Mode scales with FansToys Etherion and X-Transpot's Monolith. I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at FansToys Gehry. I got this figure from Nick the Toy Guy, and you can too, at nickthetoyguy.com. If there are any other figures you'd like me to take a look at next, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my King of Third Party Generation 1 Masterpiece Edition playlist, also linked down below. And as always, I'm Leo, reminding you that plastic toys don't belong in plastic prisons. See you next time. Here's how FansToys Gehry scales with FansToys Variator, Takaratomi Masterpiece Blue Streak, Magic Square Heavy Gunner, and X-Transpot's Big Load. Oh my gosh.